Ladies and gentlemen, let's freaking do this. What's this quest? No, I'm good. Yet we have the Northern Gorgrond. I don't anticipate it's going to take too long. Knock on wood. So, 2 Blackrock orcs, crucified with axes. And there's a little signpost that says, we got them to laugh. Eventually.
What do you need?
Well, the Kasher once told us the story of the great Colossus Gorgrond. It was the largest beast ever to walk the world, and when it fell, its body became the land. Its spine the mountains, its blood the ore. And its will, the savagery that rules this place.
Protect the weak.
Yeah, right. Anyways.
Frostwolf blood runs thick.
Gorgrond is no place for armies. I don't know, the Blackrock seem to be doing fine.
Stay strong.
Ah, Rage Roar. Good. I need someone who is not of my clan to negotiate with the Laughing Skull. We could use their help navigating this land, but they are dangerous and unpredictable. Follow this road. Seek out someone willing to speak with you. Perhaps they'll see you as something new, willing to talk first and stab later.
In one another, they may be mad, but they are the only orc clan familiar with this savage land. We may need to rely upon their knowledge.
Husband, please reconsider. No good can come of this.
Well, let's go talk to the Laughing Skull, shall we? Unfortunately, this also stinks of cut content, because we barely interact with them, honestly. Also, they've got these interesting skull masks that they all wear.
Makra!
Curious. What are you?
Straight!
We left the Goron alone for too long. They've grown bold and forgotten who we are. Kill them! Kill them all! Rip them apart until they scream. Remind them what happens to anyone who tries to attack a Laughing Skull village. Oh, and welcome to Gorgrond.
Abu!
Who was the head of the Laughing Skull back in Warcraft 2? Can anyone look that up? I'm actually curious, and I'd do it myself, but I really want to avoid even small delays. Because I could just feel it. I'm going to be like, alright, and now to do Tanaan, and then they'll be like, my adorable nieces will come down and say, dinner's ready, and then they will be extremely sad and look at me with these pleading eyes if I don't come up to have dinner with them. And I don't think I have the ability to deal with that right now. Ignore the giant Magron over there who's laying siege. Over there. Hi, below Alex. There. Thank you for the sub. As usual, I put it towards the 3 Trails blocks. Wait, Mogr the Ogre was in charge of the Laughing Skull? Really? That's weird, actually. I'll give you Goron something to eat. You're here to help or hinder. Village being eaten, and we must move quickly to salvage what we can. Gather the masks of our fallen. Meet me on the western side.
Burn the bodies, but keep the skulls.
Well, why are we keeping the skulls? Yeah, I'm probably going to slow mode my way through this Plunderstorm. Because I can afford to, and also because I'm a little low on time. Yesterday really kicked my schedule in the pants. Yeah, I know, it was a patch day, but it was a worse patch day than usual, and then it was a worse patch day even more than it was supposed to be. So, you know. Well, you see, Trihexia. Guys, I need you to burn Trihexia's body and keep his skull. I hope you like the Yuffie DLC. I haven't even played it yet, so that'll be completely new to me when I get there. I've been debating pushing FF7R1, the replay, the audit of FF7R1 before FF7R2. Oh, Hobris. Actually, okay. So here's the deal. Mogr the Ogre used to be, like, a really small, insignificant character in Warcraft 2. Like, barely relevant, right? And he literally shows up for one scene, and I believe it's as an alliance. Either way, he's an enemy. He's a named you kill in one mission, right? Jeez, knock on wood, Papadeeks. Anyways, and I don't remember the specifics, but like they were like, shoot, we want to use him in later stuff, so they decided to make Mogr like a different character and replaced most of the stuff that had to do with Mogr with someone named Obris. But Obris is like a non-character.
Zug.
You, get in the fight or get out of the way. This is no ordinary Goron attack. Look over there. A Grondling is sacking our grub hall. That hunchback Gorbuck bit a chunk out of my lovely marrow. Rip the eye out of its forehead and bring it to me. If we don't kill more of those Goron, soon they'll forget who we are. Oh, jeez. Yeah, most of my issues with FF7R1 were on the gameplay axis. That lines up with what I remember. I didn't care for the ending, but that's whatever. Yeah, I remember that before. I mean, he's a dragon. Dragon was a horde unit. Makes sense. Looks like the Magron left.
The mighty Duratan descends from his mountain without an army. It would seem you have grown tired of living.
I have come to hunt the Iron Horde. I could destroy what remains of your ruined village. Or perhaps we could assist one another.
Interesting diplomatic approach, and ironically the correct one for the Laughing Skull.
Burn, burn, fire and burn.
With a Laughing Skull, we do not flinch in the face of death, we laugh at it.
Die laughing.
These are more than fancy faceware. With a mask and some proper incentive, we can make anyone a Laughing Skull.
Burn the bodies, but keep the skulls.
Strength and honor.
Did you make that thing scream? Did it beg for mercy? Did you kill it before taking its eye? Tell me everything. Oh, the eye is nice and squishy. These puppets of Magnaron will pay for the skulls they claim today. For now, I'll wear this eye across my waist, so the fool that you have slain will watch as I slowly slaughter his brethren until my dying breath.
Farewell.
We fight together.
I received a strange note. It seems to be written in your tongue. Dear Mr. Duratan, I'm Penny, from Azeroth. We met briefly at Rage Wars Garrison. Anyways, like I told you, I have a 5th degree in Blackhammer in engineering, and I'm eager to serve. Okay.
Never leave a wolf behind.
Okay, let's fire the flare gun. Right here, game. Game. Didn't happen? No? Okay.
In family,
Didn't
there
seem to do
is
much
power.
except give away our position to every creature in Gorgrond. Wait, do you hear something? Okay.
We fight together.
He looks at you curiously.
Die.
Those from your world are not much for subtlety, are they? She's a goblin. You get used to that. Go ahead and greet our new companion. We will join you as soon as we're ready.
Stay strong.
Hey, Penny.
Welcome, friend.
Ah, there you are. Plenty carb at bottom. Reporting for duty, Commander.
Be careful.
So get this. As I was flying in, I took the opportunity to scope out what might be a defensible position. Just to the other side of these boulders is an ideal clearing hole. Even brought us a set of blueprints. That's not too presumptuous, is it? Anyway, hit the plunger. You mean this plunger right here? Hey, it's Uthor's favorite song.
Frostwolf blood runs thick.
Perhaps this little creature will earn her keep after all.
Make
You
up.
have already constructed an impressive garrison. I believe I should defer to you. Do you want to make the same choice as the Alliance?
With the pack.
No, we'll just do the same damn thing, whatever. You made the same thing. Alright, you see this awesome mount? Right here, do you see this thing that the Laughing Skull used with a Laughing Skull helmet on it? That clearly looks like a Laughing Skull Ravager called a Laughing Ravager. Do you see it? Do you see this? Good, because this is not the rep reward for maxing out your rep with the Laughing Skull. It's a store-bought mount. Moving on.
Welcome, friend of the Frostwolves.
Let's just grab all these, because there's a specific quest chain I want now. To go north.
Interesting.
Not actually sure which one it is. We'll find out in a second.
All I need is a wolf at my side.
It is
and a
that one.
warrior at my back.
The rest of this. Look, I was pissed about this back then, and frankly, I haven't stopped being pissed so much as 1 inch. So we've already talked about the visuals and the gorgeousness and all that, so we're just going to skip right ahead to the content. I hear you young fellers like them there content. God, I hate the shaman tree so much. Now where am I supposed to work with my trophies?
Everybody pulls their weight.
Marrow sent you. Our village destroyed. I would have been back already if it wasn't for these cursed plant beasts.
It is a good day to...
I have a hunting den not far from here where I gather trophies, as well as reagents for the Laughing Skull. Not long ago, this giant plant monster charged from the Overgrowth and was killed by several of the rock monsters. Since it died, smaller plant beasts have sprung up and made a mess of the place. They've also cut me off from my best source of reagents. Kill them. I'll attempt to reach my den.
I am here.
I have seen a tough-looking tree in that growth. It cries and moans, but does not act hostile. Let me know how to get rid of these plants. Okay. We don't worry about that. I should have just mounted. Yeah, so there's the dead Magneron. Or nope. Genisar, that's a Genisar. And it's got a tree growing out of its corpse. I should crush you, but what would be the point? I have failed in my duties and can only wait till I'm crushed to dust. Thank you for not killing me. What duty have you failed? Dynor was a powerful and bold champion of our kind. He sought to break the ancient lines of battle and take the fight to the enemy. It ended with his defeat at the hands of several Magneron. Here he fell, some of his energy creating a small sanctuary for those of us that remained, until I could fulfill my duty. I'm sorry, what were you supposed to do? When a champion like Dynor falls, a death bloom will glow from his husk. I was to collect the bloom and perform a sacred rite to release his life force back to the Overgrowth. As I was to do this, I was set upon by fur-covered two-legs, and they took the bloom first. We tried to follow, but they raised barriers and used fire. So now I stand vigil over my failure, until we're all ground into tortured soil by our great enemy. I might be able to fix that. Also, Hellfire Peninsula music, for some reason. Don't ask questions. No, don't do it. No. damn it! No! No questions! You're supposed to be recuperating. You're not allowed to question while you're recuperating. Die! Jesus. I didn't want to die. Get a proc off and all my cooldowns were off. Alright, place your bets. Do you think we'll actually be Warlords today? The good news is the content you're looking at right now is probably the bulk of it. The bad news, we've probably got another hour of dungeons ahead of us. The worst news, we gotta do the paperwork roundup. The good news, I did do the boring audit off camera during my lunch break. I wasn't joking. Yep, the raids will take longer to run through than to do. I'm not super worried about those. Unfortunately, one of the best raids in the game will mostly just be a running tour. I know that's bothered me literally since BC, or rather, since we decided to stop giving gameplay positives for things that are abandoned content, but... oh my god, to not give any gameplay positives to Blackrock Foundry is just criminal. Like, for those of you who've played FF14, think in your head, what's like your favorite raid or raid boss in that game? Because I know FF14 does its raid design substantially different than WoW does. Like, just a really, really solid raid. Eden. All of Eden. You know what? Yeah. That's good. That's a good pick. Imagine not being able to give a single gameplay positive to all of Eden. Oh. Yeah, that would just hurt. Rubicante. Yeah, no, that's another good pick. No gameplay positives, sorry. I hope they fix that someday. They never will. They never will. There is no hope. That's the theme of 2025. There is no hope. Good afternoon, Evo. Ignore what I just said. Ignore it. Ignore it. Okay, good. It's been ignored.
Everybody pulls their weight.
It's good that nobody touched my work here. I chose this place to avoid those who would intrude on my election. Come on.
It is a good day to fight.
They just keep coming back. I'd hate to lose this hunting ground. You'll find a way to clear this growth. I swear it.
I am here.
So that's why the Saberon have barricaded themselves up here. They're good hunting, and I want to get in there. I have an idea about that.
It is a good day to...
After the Saberon stole from these plants, they were forced further up the Steam Scar Rise and barricaded themselves in. I cannot find a way in, but you have the solution. The Illidan phase? I don't think I'll give any story negatives to that. Fun fight, but yeah. That's another good example, Zastil. That's, I mean, honestly, all of them. Just the whole thing. Okay, so I have shredded the barrier. There we go.
Everybody pulls their weight.
Good work, but we need to move quickly before the plants realize the way is over.
It is a good day to fight.
Okay, so what do you want to do? Now, to get to the heart of the matter. Sabron have strong hearts. Our shaman find many use for them. Okay. The stash contains mostly bits of old animal parts and other junk. On closer inspection, there's a bunch of herbs and plants. I am in a hurry, Evo, because I can see the future. I see a future in which I am on the verge of finishing this stupid expansion. And the universe will conspire against me. I'll lose internet. Or, like, you know, dinner will be extraordinarily early. Or my house will explode. I don't know. Place you, but speaking of which, I noticed an inordinately small number of people have been guessing on the golden number per expansion. That's fine. You don't have to. However, this is a reminder that you can place your guess for the bronze number of Warlords of Draenor. The score on the screen is up to date, and I did finish the boring audit during the lunch break. Still can't believe it. My niece managed to get down an entire box of cookies. Whole thing. And eat the whole damn thing. Up next is Legion. We will see how Legion does. Legion will be long. We will be in Legion for probably over a week. We're not even going to start the Legion zones for probably a couple of days. We have to go through the artifact quests first, and there's some meat there. We'll probably be doing the Order Hall stories. We'll see how that goes. I mean, of course we're going to do the Order Hall, but there's some asterisks involved with that. That's functionally impossible to do tech tests for until we're there, so we'll just see how that goes. We're doing the Order Halls, we're doing the Order Hall Mount quests. And, of course, we're doing the Artifact quests. Hi, Omniarch. The game feels slow and repetitive. Well, I'm going to be very honest. If the gameplay doesn't gel with you, I would just stay away. If this isn't for you, there's no judgment there. Although, if this seems slow and repetitive, I'm not sure there's an MMO out there that would actually suit you. No, Evo. But there is about a zone's worth of content per class. That's a good question, Pillars of Snow. I do not know. Yeah, there is a campaign plus the Mount quest, plus the artifact quests for every class. That's one artifact class. That's one artifact quest per spec. And then, of course, the entire Order Hall chain, which is, you know, pretty long. And then the Mount Quest, which I just mentioned. Now, Pillars of Snow asked an interesting question. Can you repeat the Mount Quest? I have no idea. I guess we'll find out, won't we? If the Legion's an evoker, then you're cast aside into the pits of Kartatuk, where you belong. Like the scum that you... sorry. What are we talking about? There's some differences, Pillars know. But yes, that is a true statement. In the interest of fairness, Paladin and Priest are like an Order Hall and a half amongst the two of them. Oh my god, stop living. Stop living. Stop living. Stop delaying me. You don't matter. You aren't relevant. Go away. Well, Lord knows I did, Evo. Back then. And for the lore run. And for this run.
I am here. Everybody pulls their weight. It is a good day to fight. Everybody pulls their weight.
You have helped me, and now I will help you. The bloom you seek is within the nearby cave, being pawed over by the new leader of the Saber. Kill him, take the bloom back to the Ancient. Hopefully it'll clear out those plants, and I can get back to my hunting. We'll go with that. The death bloom. Yeah, if I was going to level a new class right now, outside of time walking, I'd do it in Legion. Legion or Dragonflight, or War Within, but I know that's not an option yet. It will be. You have something for me, little beast. You've brought me the bloom. At last, my purpose can be fulfilled. You've given me tremendous gift with this bloom. I can finally send Dionor back to the Overgrowth for good and end this nightmare. All that remains is the ritual. Stay and behold something you will never again see in your lifetime. You will not be disappointed. Finally, my long adventure is over. Arise, Dionor. Frickin' Janissars. At last it is done. Dionor has left, and his spawn shall follow in due time. I grow weary of this conflict and have the desire to return to the Overglow. Perhaps I will travel beyond these lands, see what other surprises you little beasts have. Admittedly, I've already used Legion to level a lot because I leveled everything in Legion. Ready? Legion does have some solid cosmetics. Cannot argue. Huh, okay. So why don't we go deal with the Blackrock orcs? I feel like that's a good idea. I did. I was very prepped for the Legion lore run. I was like, okay, this looks like a quest I should record. This looks like a quest I should record. Now, hang on. We gotta do one little thing. Then we'll go ahead and do Iron Docks first. My druid's actually already up at the Iron Docks right now. Speaking of which, I will be needing people in 10 minutes, I'd say. Something like that.
Have you any news?
After, yeah. When the WoW lore run happened, Warlords was still current. And I was still living with a friend of mine. Because I was still dealing with that legal battle. Correct, Zastel the Keeper. We don't know the exact specifics of what happens to a timeline that deconstructs. But we know it deconstructs. We know it goes away. We don't know exactly what happens. Like, does it dissipate into the timeways? Does it self-destruct? Does it get absorbed into the nether? Does it, like, just turn into raw energy? Does it fade into non-existence? We don't know the exact specifics. We just know it goes away. Falls apart. So. Hey, look, we're in a scenario. How strange. Oh yeah, by the way, we're also arcane spec.
Light, help us. Victory will be ours.
The Iron Horde has no idea how much potential lies within that artifact. Let's give them a proper demonstration, shall we? There's another one of the Sons of Gruul up there. Garr.
There it is. There's my artifact. How foolish of me to trust Brack with something so valuable. It's a shame that you're too late to stop me. Surrender the artifact, and I will allow you to escape with your lives.
We will never surrender to you! Champion, now is the time. Use the artifact!
Okay. I should actually do anything. Oh, there it is.
So be it. Iron Horde, advance!
Interesting. How to play arcane. Oh god, oh god. No. Oh shoot. I don't ah! And we're dead. I can't remember how to play arcane. I probably shouldn't have decided to do this in the middle of this, but here we are. What? Huh? Oh, I see what happened. Look, it's fine, Zastel. It's fine. Everything's fine. Also positive the artifact isn't working correctly. Like, that should be killing them, and it's not doing anything. Is this... Yes. Okay, I know how to play her. I know how to play her. Second. That hurt. As you can see, Arcane is very bursty when it really gets going. So they added a new talent at some point. I'm not sure when exactly. Jeez. That is going to kill me. Yep. And that talent makes it so that when you use Arcane Barrage, you have a chance. It obviously restores mana now, but also gives you a chance to get back Arcane Charges. So you can use Barrage, which spends your charges, and have a chance to gain charges. Which is exactly as horrifyingly terrible as it sounds. Terrible in a good way. I'll tell a stupid story when we get to Suramar, but all I'm going to say is that Legion inspired me to try out Arcane for the first time in years, and I've kind of never gone back. I should mention my spec in particular is a little bit different. Arcane is one of those high build specs. In other words, there's a lot of malleability to the builds for Arcane. Check this out. Look at my tree. Look at how many gray buttons there are. There's a lot of stuff I want out of my way to not get, and I have a really particular build here.
Grunlings, attack!
Exactly. Close this down. I should... Okay. It's just sick. Shouldn't be dealing with that right now. I should pop this. I just realized I don't have my prismatic minion. I'm not taking damage. Well, I mean... Of course it's taking damage. Silly. Yes, we're going to be doing Iron Docks first. And giving a plus to humor or a negative to humor. We haven't decided yet. Overgrowth. Oh my gosh. Little help here. That's the one, Raid 36. That's the one. Oh my god.
Release the Iron Stars!
Oh, that's exactly what I need, is their super weapon. Could you stop shooting me with cannon fire constantly, please? Is that a thing you can do? God, these stupid artillery. Whoa, 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 I should not be tanking all of that. Probably should have just been Frost for this. It's okay. We'll wait patiently. I do like having to try. Why would I play Fire Spec, Evo? Ugh. Ugh. The actual answer to your question is quite banal. The reason I'm playing Arcane is because I set up my Fire Spec first and my Arcane Spec second, so I'm just Arcane at the moment. I'd say that explains everything thoroughly and satisfactorily. Alright, so anyways, y'all are dead. I'm done playing around. Die. 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 Die to everything. Die. Continue to die. Hello, Gawk. I'm in an Iron Shredder. What do you got? I have cannons on my back. Yeah, you're dead.
No! I will die before I let you take what is mine. You will not win this war! Ah!
The artifact! What has he done? We must restore it! We must get it to safety!
See what weapons I have in my arsenal!
So anyways, notice he has a burning blade.
Brace yourself, champion. The light is with you. I will not let you fall.
Weapon.
It is over. Their defenses are shattered. We have won this battle, but without the artifact, far to go. Let us rally back at your garrison, Commander. We must plan our next course of attack.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Look, I could take one Iron Star to the face. One. There we go. Arcane has some fun stuff, too. The big thing I'm rotating around is Touch of the Magi, but you can also go with Arcane Surge, which is exactly what it sounds like. And, oh god, where's the other one? I don't actually remember where it is. There's another thing in here somewhere. It's fun. Whoops, whoops, whoops. I'm also very focused on Arcane Missiles, if you didn't notice me shooting them out like a machine gun.
How goes the fight? Walk with the light.
Does that seriously not have a follow-up? Oh, god. Time to get rid of our Iron Star, everyone. I'll hold on to it. For fun. It really is it. Yeah. Okay. Do I have Arcane Surge? I actually don't. I specifically didn't pick it. Yeah, there's... Arcane Surge is fascinating. Check this out. Use all of your current mana, so it bingos your mana to annihilate your enemy target and nearby enemies for an insane amount of damage based on the mana spent. It also generates clear casting, which makes your next spell instant and free. For the next 15 seconds, your mana regeneration is increased by 425%, and your spell damage is increased by 35%. It has a 90-second cooldown. I forget the exact lineup, but you do this wonderful thing where you touch the Magi first, which does damage. It's like a debuff that does damage based on how much damage you did while the debuff was on them. So you put touch of the Magi on them, bingo your fuel with Arcane Surge, and then start massively generating mana again while you're using all your procs to pour firepower into them. Then Touch of the Magi goes off and does a crap ton of damage. It's essentially doubling your Arcane Surge. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do the final 2 dungeons. Filthy peasants.
More work?
Ugh. So we pushed the Blackrock clan. Hang on. So let's catch up a little bit on the story, because Lord knows Warlords isn't interested in catching you up. We've defeated the Warsong clan, killed Garrosh, stopped the attack on Shattrath. Then we did the scenario we just did, which was a conclusion of the arc from Southern Gorgrond and Northern Gorgrond, successfully pushing the Blackrock Orcs all the way north to their infrastructure, which is here. I'm missing one more person. Do I have another person? Does another person exist? Join us, Fife. Oh, I have no idea, Verlictum. Hang on. I'm pretty sure I don't actually have that data anymore, because I think that's the data that I lost when I lost that file. Give me a check. Give me a sec. I'm checking. Give me a check. I'm secking. Yeah, looks like I lost that data. So I don't know, is the honest answer. Quite a few. I see somebody is wearing some Plunderstorm gear. I'm not going to name names. Oh, speaking of which, how much is that outfit? No, this one. No. Is this it? Oh, it's 1,000 each. Oh, wow. just get that right now. Boo. 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 Boo.
Punches? Punches?
Duos are funner than the other ones anyways. Singles. There we go. Perfect. I don't like the helmet. Hang on, let me fiddle really quick. Where's... We'll go with that one. And then... I should just get rid of the cloak. There we go. Perfect.
May your feet find good trails.
Okay. First, we'll do the iron docks. Let's see. Looks like I am our healer, which I can do. No, it's a good coloration. I love that I've already gotten it after like 3 Plunderstorm matches. One of which I did on camera today. Yeah, me too. Mega Skullbone Spockmon. A little bit of a teaser of the next
One kill!
raid. I'm not going to talk much on this dungeon. I don't want to talk over the dialogue that's going to be in this dungeon. Whoops. As I say, this is actually already different in a couple of small ways. That fire there does insane damage on actual hard difficulty. So getting out of the flaming arrows very quickly is very important. I don't suppose you mean this thing, right? Creamy? Just to be clear. A little bit of lighting.
War song arrows sing from the sky. They'll be the last thing you hear as I crush your skull.
Oh, you heard him. What, Ubris and slag mines? Yeah. I mean, Warlord dungeons are solid. Not as good as Legion, but pretty solid.
A death worthy of a warrior. Storm the funeral pyres. Terror overwhelms you. Death is near.
So he has this interesting mechanic where if you hit him while he's got that up, he actually casts fear on you.
You will burn. Sir, they've breached the gates. Nagar, he's dead. We should pick up anchor and set sail for Chalador right now. Calm yourself, Thogar. We will do no such thing. If these weaklings are so eager to die, then we should oblige. But, sir, this is the last of the Grom that we have. Blackhand will have our hides if we show up empty-handed. Thogar, do not question my authority. This isn't just any Grom. This is Skulak, son of Gruul. The blood of a champion courses through his veins. I'm not concerned with these paltry whelps. Yes, sir.
I've often wondered if these are supposed to be war songs, given how, you know, amazingly stupid they are. You know, interestingly enough, if they had bailed, they might have been able to salvage the last of their ships in Goron. Oh well. Those are nice coats. I don't know what they'll add them to, though. Yeah, there's not a lot of banter dungeons. Go figure. Hey, Czar. I almost hope those aren't in the trading post. I don't have that many coins left. So, here's one of my favorite trash tidbits. I'm going to go do one of these really quick just to show it off. We'll do this one. Okay, let's aim right about there. And you fire off an Iron Star, which absolutely destroys everything in your way, including the Ogeron. The game actually rewards you for aiming well, too, if you're paying attention. In fact, there's an achievement for successfully managing to get all the Ogeron in one shot. Yes, of course I have that achievement. Yeah, I got those last time. Your witness. Yeah, I got everything last season. All that's left for me is the new stuff. So now that we've smashed through this entire army here,
ha! Would you look at that? Maybe I underestimated them. Zogosh! Prepare Skolok. Let them have a taste of what he has to offer. Igniting the cannon, sir!
So then he starts doing this. I love this mechanic. This is technically part of the trash design, but it's environmental trash design. So periodically, Skolok will send a volley over here. It does a lot of damage. Now, this isn't just a basic red light, green light thing. Because it's line of sight.
Fire! Fire! Aim, then fire!
And as you can see, it even hurts on normal difficulty. Ooh, hurts more than I was expecting, actually. That's okay. I had that button ready. I was ready. Okay, aim, then fire! And also, the design here is kind of cool because these guys have this whole area denial attack, which you're seeing here. And then those guys have big AoE attacks in an area where you have small areas of safety to run in between bombardments. Also, my favorite song in Warlords playing right now. Hey, Anarcho-Marxist.
What is wrong with you? Keep firing, you oaf! Sir, he's out of ammunition! I'm reloading! I'm reloading! Ah, forget it. They'll never make it past the tracks. Mako, Garriock, front and center. There's some new meat for you to tenderize.
Right away, Captain. It will be my pleasure.
Ha! Ditto!
Ooh, is there killing to be done? Let me at him.
You will burn!
Well, depends on where you put this in the timeline, Trihexia. If this is happening where the game intends it, then
You better step back.
there's
I'm crawling in the bogs!
Totally tons and tons and tons
None shall...
of Iron Horde left.
Sir, half of our army's been taken out. Don't you think we should?
That was an insignificant loss. Let them exhaust themselves praying against our weak, against those who are unworthy of serving in Blackhand's army. Blood and honor, Zogash. That is all that orcs understand.
Ah, good thinking, sir.
That is what I do, Zogash. I think good.
Me and my sister have continued to use that joke for a long time since. And I don't want to get too much into details, just in case anyone who shouldn't ever sees this particular VOD or stream. But all I'm going to say is that there is a very specific person who, whenever that person would text my sister, that would be the voice clip that would play to indicate that it was that person texting them. It was intended as an insult. It is funny, though. So yes, the game says this happens before Talador, despite all logic and reason. I've already given those negatives. I have nothing new to add to that. Even if you consider this to be happening where I think it makes more sense, which is in the lead-up to Blackrock Foundry, which, if you're paying attention, is where we are.
Almost here. What do we do now?
I'm not playing these games anymore. Bring in the saber on and we'll be done with it.
Are you sure you want to let that thing out of its cage? I don't think we've fed it since we found it.
Put a muzzle on it.
Good idea, sir.
I didn't mean the cat.
Anyways. There's still 2 overall groups left of the Iron Horde at this point. There's a relatively small but elite force, which is in their capital, in Tanaan Jungle, and then there's the forces inside the Blackrock Foundry. 2 armies, 2 regiments, whatever division you want to use, it's 2 groups. Everything else has been kind of smashed at this point. So, Saberon boss. They let him out. We showcase his mechanic as he kills his own captors. And his mechanic is very simple. Don't be in front of him. You'll notice I didn't even talk about the mercenaries boss. That's never been a difficult boss. There's nothing even worth talking about there, so that's whatever. This last boss, though, I really hope kills at least someone, because that would make me happy, you know? Yeah, but this is Warcraft, Loke. And they don't really care. So, division, army, regiment. Doesn't matter. Groups. You can nitpick all you want. Groups. I said groups for... I actually already defended the nitpick that I knew Loke or someone else would give. And then I am all immediately nitpicked on it. It's actually kind of funny. I can't win. It's like saying millions of people will die if they wipe out Stormwind and Iron Horde, and someone immediately goes, "Well, technically." And then I stab them in the eye with, like, a bit of eye defense gel that makes their eye immune to stabbing.
March into my docks and so brazenly set foot on my ship. Nothing will stop the Iron Horde, least of all you. Enjoy your death, weaklings. Zogash, man the machine turret.
Aye, aye, sir.
Actually, if you just add 1 letter, Lore can turn into loser. So this is a fascinating fight. You can attack Koramar first, or Skullock first, but you have to kill both regardless. There's also this guy over here. He's just doing his thing. He does his thing. This is the guy who actually has a brain, who was like, "Sir, maybe we should have a brain." And the other guy says, "Don't worry. I have good brain." But yes, to continue the nonsensicalness of the story, the next dungeon's main plot is preventing a giant weapon from reaching the siege of Shattrath and Talador, which really doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay, so he's going to do this, and then He does a barrage. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, I'm happy. Oh, I'm so happy. We died. Ah. I feel better. I feel better. I was really legitimately scared that would be like 30% of your health, and I was just going to be like, come on! The whole point is that it's death. The whole point is it's supposed to kill you if you don't dodge. So, oh god. Okay, hang on. Let me start getting, I get one person up. For your sacrifice, Papaneeks.
Koramar, no! I will avenge you!
Okay, so he does this thing. He does that. He does the charge. We gotta get up to him. We gotta get up to him. We gotta get up to him. There. Okay. Help! Help! I'm dead. So that's how that fight works. There's other mechanics, but the really big mechanic is he flings everyone back. There are crates you can hide behind on the way up. And if you don't hide, he kills you. And then you have to race up and get him. It is still a fun boss. Okay. Unfortunately, now we gotta go the long way out. I'm gonna start getting out while I start jotting down a positive. Not here. I'm gonna line up along the railway. Okay. Yep. Good dungeon even now. Yay. Notice it actually connects to the Grimrail too. Right there. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, that's interesting. So, like, the phylactery has a fuel meter that goes down? Sorry, look. Jaina had Arthas not sent... Hang on. Had Arthas not sent her to get Luther, how much do you want to bet she would have stayed beside and agreed completely? Whoop. Oh yeah, can I get... Do I have a replacement for Papaneeks? By chance? If I don't, it's fine. We'll format it, and that'll be interesting. Oh, I'm sorry. I misread that because of the typo that you did twice in a row. I thought you said it was you who had that motion sickness problem. I can tell. Okay, so for those of you who don't know where the Grimrail entrance is, I'll head right to it over here. It's in kind of a weird spot. I've always found it easier to find than the raid entrance for some strange reason. It is right here. Hypothetically, yeah, Triaxia. I'm not sure where the stone... There it is. Found it, found it. So, I'm one of those boring, dumb people who was really impressed by this dungeon. In fact, I mentioned this when there was a raid all the way back in FF14 Shadowbringers that actually replicated this same effect. And I was made fun of it I was made fun of for actually enjoying that particular effect in that raid. So with the advantage of hindsight, and theory, and consequence, I would have to say that that person's dumb. I still think this is a cool mechanic. It'll be pretty obvious, Blade Javal. It'll be after the first boss. I'll say something when we get to it. And as soon as you see it, you'll be like, aha, that raid! Yeah, we'll just stand here for a minute. Wait for Bragman to accept the summon. We'll try summoning her again. You never know. Might work. Summon is already pending. Alright. That means she's AFK. Let's go and start without her. Yeah, by the way, motion sickness warning for anybody who has motion sickness issues. If you have no issues with my dragon flying, you're probably fine. But warning nevertheless. Goblin! You better be finishing up. Railmaster Rocketspark is almost finished patching up the Grimrail. We've got to get this super weapon to Talador for the Shatrith raid that totally exists! It's real! It's real in my heart. Thank you, Glorious Barbarian. As always. And if you want to put the turns up to 3 things, please let me know. So, trash! The Gobos immediately rush off to activate Iron Stars when they get low on health. The Overseers buff the nearbys. No! No! The raid's real! It's so cool! It goes from, like, fighting the Iron Horde to fighting the Legion. Isn't that such a cool idea? It's definitely real and really exists. Where is Wrath? Why is Wrath not on my bar? Oh god, eating experience. Imagine having to farm enemies just to shove experience into your phylactery. You got it, Glorious Barbarian. Thank you. Oh, 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 oh. Pay attention. Pay attention. Ow.
Why do I gotta move all the boxes?
Stop asking and get back to work.
I remember liking this fight.
Not this boss.
But then again, my last time I did this was Mythic Plus, so... So big guy there, he hits hard. Dude up top, he just does area denial. He shoots rockets on the ground. You have to avoid them. Thing is, at a certain point, there's going to be this phase thing, which we may not even see. Oh, nope, there it is, the missile barrage. So what has to happen is big guy is going to target a random person, and then he's going to charge at them. That person has to aim him over here towards this guy. So right now he's targeting the tank, so that didn't work out. And this barrage will continue until someone aims him the exact opposite direction he was just aimed in. Jesus Christ, guys, come on. It's fine, it's fine. Oh, apparently it stops now. I thought it just went forever. Never mind. And that's the primary mechanic of the fight, is managing those two things. Oh, that's probably what I was thinking then, Luthor.
Fire!
Like I said, last time I did this was on Mythic Plus, so memories a little bit. Once he goes to Plan B, he just sits here and starts doing escalating damage to everyone. This is a straight DPS race. You want to hear something weird, Loke? I'm chewing on this, and I really feel like the dominoes would line up such that Jaina would help pull Arthas back a little bit. Come up with an alternate plan for Stratholme, right?
It's not the plan.
Go the right way, Laura. And then Uther might be the one, you know, to see the, the consequences of Stratholme. and just be like, oh my god, this horrible, horrible thing, and it's stain his soul, and he be the one who gets pulled up to Northrend and becomes the first Death Knight. I don't know. But the problem is, Jaina Proudmoore certainly has a darker streak to her, but one thing that's very consistent... Yeah, exactly, Dakota. One thing that's very consistent about her is she works better in a group. 100% of the time. Almost all the time when she goes cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, it's because she's on her own. She needs that emotional stabilizing element because, frankly, Jaina is not a very stable person emotionally. Almost assuredly, Dakota. So, Jaina plus Arthas equals two emotionally unstable people stabilizing each other. And that would have been interesting. I'm going to shop for a second. What do we do? We need to do this. Maybe we should just jump? It's the only thing to do. Charge! I'm sorry, I love that little animation. It just picks people in the group to do those little emotes. The same way people do in real life, Trihexia. So this trash is extremely mean. So there's the effect. This was kind of mind-blowing, in all honesty. This is not exactly a new effect to video games, but to WoW? The fact that they were able to pull this off is honestly kind of bonkers. If you know anything about how WoW does things under the hood or its engine. This is one of the better examples of how much Warlords was a step forward under the hood, right? How much they were able to streamline how the game loads assets, how it does its database storing and its rendering, and it's just, this is crazy cool. And they'll be doing some more cool stuff like this in the future. This is very clearly a tech demo.
They're here. Get up!
What I feel like the two of them would have come up with, Loke, is something a little bit more reasonable, a little bit less reactionary. Hang on, Arthas. You know, this looks like a trap. That Demon Lord is clearly trying to lure us into there.
Move like you signed up for this.
You know, we must save my people. Yes, but we must make sure that we save the rest of your people too. Like I feel like the two could balance each other a little bit there. That's right, StarCraft 2 did this. Oh my god, yep, trash in here still hurts. Good to know. I mentioned, I didn't even start that sentence until we got derailed. But yeah, trash in here has always been mean. Actually, no, Bleachville, you're right, I forgot about that. I was talking about the Nier raid. Where, during the FF14 run, during that fight, I commented on this dungeon.
Who dares challenge me?
Yeah, exactly, Dakota. Like, there's options there. But someone probably would have gone to Northrend anyways. The first Lich King was sending out a siren call the whole time. So, this fight is either very, very awesome or terrible, depending on how well you know it and what you're doing. First of all, you can't really tell, but I'm being pushed back constantly while I'm outside. I'm only safe to advance forward when I'm inside. There's also tons of terrain inside which provides line of sight. The gun targets someone randomly.
My sights on you.
And does a lot of damage to them unless they're out of line of sight. These turrets do tons of damage of two different types, depending on which ammo you've picked up, of which there are several.
Got my sights on you.
So I just picked up some munitions, which means I can shoot a homing shell at the boss to do a bunch of damage to it. I'm going to go ahead and pick up this next one, and then go ahead and pull that trick again. Boop. And I'm a druid, so I can actually do this as a healer, since most of my heals are hots. So I pop my hots, and then I pay attention for ammo.
Give them all you got.
Now, some of the ammo they give is grenades. That's there to push over the trash quickly and efficiently. So like this trash up here, you know what? I don't feel like you existing. Boom. It's dead. I'll pop into this one.
Give them all you got!
Another one. Each one does, I want to say, an 1/8. So you gotta hit it 8 times. Something like that. Healing zone. Go grab some more ammo. Anybody can do this. There's enough trash that more than one person can go do this. Oh, it looks like I actually didn't get a munitions ammo. I got a grenade ammo. So we're going to use that on these guys. That looked like some munitions ammo. Nope, still wrong. I keep getting grenades. God dang it. Whoever's getting the munitions ammo, use it, please. Because it's not me.
Let them have it, boys!
There we go.
Give them all you got!
Come on. There we go. I know a lot of people don't like this fight. And I think those people are on crack. I love this fight.
Rapid fire! Let them have it, boys!
The biggest problem I see with this fight is the audio spam, because as you can see, the fight does take a minute to happen.
Ha! Let's take this down to your level.
Let me just fight him. The thing is, he's fighting us here, and, well... we still have our munitions.
I didn't even try.
Oh. Actually, you can, Zastel. If you've got the gear to back that up, go for it. I think part of what I love so much about this dungeon is so much of the trash isn't normal trash, right? And yeah, when we're on approach, these guys actually have portals where they are sending and summoning troops to and from. Also, a portal on a train just sounds like a cool idea to me. It's weird that fiction doesn't do that more. So here's our next boss, last boss. It's a Thunderlord. The second to last Thunderlord we'll be seeing, I believe. She's a little bit simpler.
Let's give them hell.
Oriana, give them hell. Oh, sorry.
Another one.
So she does this stuff, which is area denial, but the pattern changes as the fight progresses. And I'm 90% certain that the patterns change based on difficulty. And get a lot harder to dodge than just, you know, spot in the middle.
Show them what you're made of.
By the way, did you notice? I've got DBM running, but no audio. Turns out there's an option, /DBM space silent, which turns on silent mode. Go figure.
Another one.
Quick and easy. Pretty much exactly what I wanted, too. Oh yeah, there's the giant cannon up there. That's the thing we're trying to stop. Train-mounted cannons. Fun things. What is this, Victorio?
You can.
Alright, we gotta stop this train. Alright, how do we stop this thing? Yep, there's what's left of the train. We're fine. Of course. One second, please. Yep, still a fun dungeon. Honestly, my favorite dungeon in Warlords, and I can already see the score is going to back that up. Okay. Let's do the raid. We have defeated all of the many forces. Thank you, by the way, Evo. We have defeated all the many forces of the Iron Horde everywhere. We've done Heimal. There's only one thing left to do. Immediately leave this character, because you can't do this in time walking. It is time for one of the best raids in the entire game. I'd say easily top 5 territory. I look forward to not giving it any positives. No, it is not, because the overwhelming majority of those positives are on the gameplay axis. Alright. Put it to you this way. 29 of 35 negatives are abandonment negatives. Warlords, interestingly enough, has had very few gameplay negatives. That's all gameplay, of course. Story-wise, a little different. One second, please. Yep, nope, I was right. The Grimrail Depot is our highest scoring instance so far, barely beating out Charlemagne's. Okay. Blackrock Foundry. Oh, I have no idea. I mean, the golden number of WoW might be in the 2,000 range. But as for the bronze number for Warlords, I have no idea. I actually have no idea going forwards. So the first thing we see is a bunch of Dark Iron troops who guard the front. There's a hauler and a bunch of workers here, and I mean a bunch of workers. They're all smelting. the mountain itself, because most of the mountain is made of Blackrock. The thing about Blackrock that's interesting, the substance, I should say. If you want to join, you're welcome to, Spartan. I'm not going to slow down, though. I don't see you on, so whatever. The thing about Blackrock, the substance, is that it's extraordinarily difficult to mine and smelt. The Blackrock clan, which named themselves after it, pretty much got most of their claim to fame by being able to smelt Blackrock ore. Do keep in mind that regardless of timeline shenanigans, this definitely happens towards the end of the timeline. So this is right before the end here. So that is Gruul. They have specifically enslaved Gruul, not as a warrior. His job is to haul pallets of ore. Now, this is actually fascinating to me, if I could just go ahead and pause for a moment here. Because it makes so much sense for such a weird reason. The idea here is Gruul is a Gron, who is extremely powerful, of course, and can haul Blackrock pallets, which are really, really heavy. But it also demoralizes him and diminishes all of the Gron. The most you, a demigod, are useful to us is as cheap labor. Just to show off the fight very, very, very briefly. He's such a mean fight. We got goops of death, which will be coming up here, which create avoidance areas. He's got a massive conal attack. He's got this big AoE attack that the only real reason to avoid, the real way to avoid, is to go up there to the prismatic ore up top. You notice this whole place is being run by an Iron Star, by the way. We've got a werebear skin for Papaneeks. And I don't remember what else. This is a very fun, very mean fight.
Fall down.
Sorry, buddy. The next fight... Really? The next fight... well, actually, the next fight is that one down there. That is the forge. That is where they smelt all the Blackrock ore. You notice there's a person in there. That is called the Heart of the Mountain. If I might read the actual in-game lore text for the Heart of the Mountain. The Blackrock clan's unique ability to smelt the black ore, a substance so dense that ordinary flames don't even soften it, has always been their most closely guarded secret. Deep within the foundry, their furnace contains a primal force, which can of as old as Draenor itself, raging within the confines of the prison as it emanates a preternatural heat. That is the Heart of a Mountain, a primordial elemental, which they enslaved long ago. Naturally, they have to deal with Goron all the time, because Goron are ridiculous. So the Goron get in here and just start munching on everything. Like you do. And yes, I did, Yura, don't worry. Of course I did. Come on. Give me some credit. I agree, Esmerastar. It makes too much sense. Again, despite what stupid, idiotic, worthless devs who deserve to die for their crimes against continuity, whatever say, this is the prime timeline with until the alteration point. That's what I'm thinking, yeah, Luke. So this guy's actually fun. He's the Pac-Man boss. Do you see it? Do you see it? Like, look down. It's a little bit more obvious this way. So he'll do this thing where he'll be like, brrr, he'll turn into Pac-Man, and he'll run around eating up chunks of ore. And the goal is to either get him to eat enough or to eat too few. I actually don't remember which. And, like, not be eaten yourself, which obviously is not very pleasant. It's actually a pretty fun, simple, ordinary, engaging fight, but the fact that this fight, which is probably a double or triple positive fight, is one of the worst fights in here, says a lot about the quality of the fights that are in the Blackrock Foundry. Anyways, enjoyed no gameplay positives for this fight. He's the bonus fight, too. They do this. Like, Amir Drasil's best fight is just some random druid who was made up for that fight. One of the best fights in Icecrown Citadel is some random green dragon. Whatever. Anyways. So this fight, right? Oh, what? I'll actually have time to talk about this fight. Because, well, because there's no real way to speed this one up. See you around, Dakota. Hey, off the deeper end. First we deal with the slag behemoth.
Guards! Intruders are meddling with the blast furnace!
So the goal is to kill the heart of the mountain. I'll go right, everyone else go left. Do not come with me to right unless you know exactly what you're doing. In fact, don't come with me right anyways. Just go over there and do your stuff over there. So this feels like a trash fight, and that's because it kind of is. But what you have to do in Phase 1, you have to pick up these bombs from the engineers, and then pull them over here, and then use them on these things, these regulators. These are our actual goal, knocking out the heat regulators. So what we do is we sit here, we wait for engineers to spawn, pull them over to here, and the goal, there's a lot of ways to optimize this, but the way we used to do this is we'd make sure an engineer would die right here, and then so we could pop it, heal, grab, pop, heal, grab, pop, heal, as fast as we possibly could. So I'm going to wait for a second. There we go. There we go. The Ogron that spawn periodically will be pulling those bellows. Bellows increases the heat ratio. You notice we're up to 4 heat already. That's up here. More heat equals more damage. You don't want more damage. I mean, we don't really want to kill this elemental rogue, but when we release it, and indeed, that is our goal here, is to release this thing, he's not going to be super happy. And he's going to immediately attack us, so we don't have a tremendous amount of choice here. I'm with you, though, Logue, for whatever that's worth. He also spawns security guards. These have a straight-up invul, which I'm not letting them show off. On the plus side, this is Draenor, which means when an elemental is killed, there's a chance they could just slowly come back, as opposed to, you know, either being sent back to a plane or permanently destroyed, depending. It is admittedly a chance, because that only applies in certain cases of elementals, but it's better than nothing. A little bit of copium there, I'm not going to lie. All of this is a pretty complex-looking fight, right? Just Phase 1 of this fight is more complicated than most entire fights are. I love it. If it's not obvious, I tend to like properly complicated fights. How much health is a stupid thing I have left? Oh, no, you don't. I think I missed one. Yep, I did miss one on the right. Tricky. Sneaky little Ogrons. Hang on, because this fight has a Phase 2. And a blast is coming. Oh, God, DBM Silent is the best thing ever. All the benefits, none of the detriments. Come here and die. There we go. Got mine. I'm going to go help the other group. We can start combining forces here.
The machinery is my flames. Will lick the flesh from your bones.
If it's not obvious, I have a lot of practice at doing this fight. Obviously from going back at Mythic, but I did this fight when it was hard, you know? This is the, well, no. I did BFA stuff when it was hard. Never mind. BFA was the last time I did a raid fight when it was still hard.
The furnace is overheating! Fools! If the fury breaks free, our work will be ruined!
fury has broken free!
Okay, so phase 2 is not actually fighting the Fury. So this slag elemental is fascinating. You kill him, he explodes, then he falls to the ground, and he'll get up back up after a while like a phoenix. So you got to be very careful about where you drop him. Then you got the Primal Elementalists. Each of them has an immunity shield which makes him immune to all damage. So what you have to do is you have to grab that slag elemental, you know, the guy who's reforming right now. Come here. Okay, but he's got a dot on him from something. I'm not sure what. But anyways, you grab the slag elemental, pull him over to this guy. Boop. Notice you can just bypass the invincibility now. The slag elemental exploding gets rid of the invincibility shield. Repeat 3 times. And now we have phase 3. Phase 3 is a straight-up DPS race.
A small victory of my fire is extinguished.
Sorry, dude. Yeah, he does a ton of damage. He does more...
To my furnace! Where are my guards? Shut these intruders down!
Listen, Darren DePaul, we need to have a chat. We're coming for you, buddy. The DPS race, though, is a very intense race, because all of the stuff you've been doing well or badly up to phase 3 determines how much damage he does, and then he starts escalating just in phase 3 with how much damage he does. So now, we're going to do this next. Hey look, it's a bunch of Thunderlords. So this fight. This is the big Thunderlord fight, a Beast Lord. He's got an Elec, he's got a Rylak, he's got a Warg. Each of them do completely different stuff, and the way the fight works is he's supposed to hop onto one, then the other, then the other. All of them are mean, and all of them have their own mechanics, which we're going to skip completely past.
Your meat and bones, I will not die here! Fault line, come! And the others will avenge.
He's also got a 4th in Mythic. How is that? Oh, that's a belt. Oh, what do you know? Okay. We have to talk about this. We have to. This is often considered one of the hardest fights in the entire game. If you heard me talk about this all the way back in the day, I mentioned Ice Cream.
Send her on down the line.
I mentioned Noxramas 40. Turn off sound for a second. I mentioned Noxramas 40 as one of those super hard fights. The 4 Horsemen. I mentioned Mauru. And then there's Operator Thogar. Specifically Operator Thogar, Mythic, which, as it happens, is the one we're about to do. There's no 40 mans in Wrath, Mr. Floyd Pinkerton. I could sit here for like 20 minutes and explain this fight. The long and the short of it is that there's him, and he has his own mechanics. And then he summons trains. There are 3 lines through which he can summon trains. There's an order, there's a pattern to what he summons and when. But the long and the short of it is, he summons trains. Each train does a completely different mechanic from the others and has to be dealt with differently. Trains happen regardless of killing, so if you fall behind on DPS, he will summon multiple trains at once. Some trains are fast, some trains are slow. If you get in the way of a train, it will kill you. So yeah, there's the trains. This fight, I can't even properly describe how mean, complex, difficult, and brutal this fight is. I feel really sad we're about to poke this guy and kill him in one hit, because this is exactly what a more than triple positive boss fight looks like. This is crazy. Wow, really, Papanix? I want to at least show off the train, like just once.
Blackhand won't tolerate any more delays.
Let's just see if we can get one train to pop. Oh, it was such a fun fight. Okay, so that's a single flame in the middle. Right?
Step up the pace. Faster! Bet the stack offer!
Then he summons a triple. Aw. Well, he was summoning a triple and then he died. Whatever. Thogar is also significant story-wise. He is, and I say this without hyperbole, the single biggest reason why the Blackrock orcs are so dangerous.
Patience, sisters! The sooner we finish our work, the sooner we crush our enemies. Sorka, ensure the peons are keeping pace. My pleasure. Marok, load the ammunition into the main cannon. Right.
I'm not joking, by the way.
What? The trains are behind schedule?
I think I see the problem. Let's see how well you've trained our soldiers, Goron.
You insufferable! Ugh.
So, Thogar is the reason the Blackrock are so devastating, because he's the coordinator. He's the boring-ass middle manager who keeps the Blackrock Empire running. Yeah, he is the logistical brains behind the Iron Horde. It's actually mentioned in the Dungeon Journal as well. He's the one keeping everything going. So even if we had done nothing... Oh my god, even if we had nothing else, knocking him over pretty much means the end of the Blackrock. So this is the trio, the sisters, right? No, not them. Them. This is, yeah, the winning orc faction has an accountant. Pretty much exactly correct. Either way, these three were a barrier boss for us back in the day. I think I talked about that last time I did this. I know I keep saying this, but there's a lot of moving parts here. You have to periodically go on the ship. You see that belt line right there? Periodically you have to go and sabotage the belt line. You have to fight the mini-bosses that are on the ship, while the rest of the raid is fighting the raid fight. Over here, there's three sisters. Each one of them has their own mechanics.
What brutality! What bloodshed! Beautiful. Sorka, this isn't a game! Get down there!
Don't worry, I'm coming. This looks fun.
Now, in every difficulty other than Mythic, they share health. In Mythic, they have different health pools, which by itself made this fight substantially harder. Each of them have these things with, like, totems, and there's this, like, turret that does an insane amount of damage, and, oh my god, there's a lot of moving parts in this fight. Like, a lot. Over there, down that hallway...
The Iron Maidens have fallen! They were my favorite! Find these invaders, and bring me their heads!
Is where you can go get the quest to get the skip. If you're wondering why I do this wing before the next wing, it's because this wing leads more naturally into the next wing. By the way, these mushrooms give you a haste buff. It should have a larger AoE than it does. I don't know why it doesn't. Don't ask me. So, hang on. You're probably wondering, Lore, how do they smash all of these plates into thing? Well, it's okay. They've got something called a stamper. It's more or less exactly what it looks like.
Franzog! We got a jam! So, go unjam it then! I ain't done jamming it. I jammed it last time.
You wanna tell Blackhand we got a stamper that ain't stamping?
Hey, you! Get in there and unjam that stamper!
Yes, dispatch. We'll have some impurities.
Yep, the goal here is to not become jam. This fight is also brilliant. Check this out. So, these conveyor belts actually move during the fight and drag you forward. There's molten molten slabs of slag that come down the line, which obviously you don't want to stand on, so that sucks. Then there's the stampers themselves. You get a couple of seconds until they come smashing down and kill you instantly. And that's just like the environmental stuff in the fight. In fact, here, I want to just show off a little bit here before someone's trinket instantly kills these.
Your bones will be crushed to dust.
I'm going to take you down!
Come on. Come on. There we go. So there's our stampers. You notice what's happening here? This is a mythic-only ability called Smart Stampers. It's exactly what it sounds like. It homes in on you. So as you can see, we have roam sufficient to ensure that the entire area gets stamped. So this would have been a wipe back in the day. Which is why this is happening, because we're not supposed to live through this. We may have to actually kill them.
Hear me now.
Yep.
And believe me later.
No, not like this.
Yeah, pretty much. Alright, everyone avoid the stampers. Why is the entire area stampers? So this is where the Burning Blade does their thing. I always found this fascinating because it's this tiny little insight into how important the Burning Blade really are. I talked about this during the lore run, I want to say. The Burning Blade are more into quality rather than quantity. An individual Burning Blade, you know, War Master, is very powerful, and they imbue enchantments directly into the weapons, as you can see happening here. So we're going to sneak up and hit her without hitting him.
My work, my flame, burned too bright.
There you go. If anybody wants the Garrison thing, there you go. Enjoy it. I'm not even talking about that fight. There's a lot. There's so much going on in so many of these fights. I'm not going to talk about the fights that are even more outstanding than the typical stuff. Like, that's merely a triple positive boss fight we just passed. Maybe more than that. So then there's this guy. This is Kilrogg. This is actually funny to me. So Kilrogg is a Magneron that they have enslaved, and he uses his elementally enruned fists to smelt the plates. Let me try to explain that a little bit more. So obviously they have stampers, and they have the smelting plats, and all that fun stuff. But all of that just makes this stuff that's like orc-sized. How do they make those juggernauts? Because those are one unbreaking chunk of Blackrock ore smelted into armor. This guy is how. And I love the fact that they use a freaking Magneron in order to smelt the metal and shape the metal for their war machine. Something about that just really appeals to me. As I think I've hinted at several times, the Iron Horde kind of technically cheats when it comes to their tech tree. They don't have the technology to operate technology at the level that they do. Instead, they kind of shortcut it with things like this guy. This guy, I hated this fight in LFR. Just in LFR. Nobody can figure out how to do it because they're all dumb.
That beast was irreplaceable! Where are the attackers now? I want them dead! Dead!
Yeah, we have just honestly, with the loss of Thogar and the loss of Kilrogg, that's it. They have lost things that, as Blackhand himself just said, are literally irreplaceable. But we like to be thorough. So let's go kill Blackhand himself, shall we? Yeah, the Iron Horde functionally no longer exists now. I might as well sell a little bit more here. But we like to be thorough. As a courtesy, I will wait. Because, you know, that's the final boss up there. No, yeah, the mount. Blackhand can drop the mount. I don't remember if I have it. I apparently do not. I do have the illusion. Hang on. This thing. It's an Iron Horde Banthar, I believe. I still don't have the one from Yogg-Saron. Still. I was actually farming it consistently. I had like 10 characters just right outside Ulduar, and they just sat there, and every week I would run all of them through. Never got it. More likely they'll all just die, to be honest with you, Trihexia. But then again, it's funny. So Trihexia just said, considering all of the orcs and orc leadership we just, gut on our path through alternate Draenor, won't the other species take over, enslave, or wipe out the orc clans? So for those of you not aware, the Lightbound do exactly that. Convert or crush all of the remaining orcs. And everything else. Yeah, what you're about to look at is not a +3 boss fight.
You're the dogs who have been wreaking havoc throughout my foundry! Step forward. I will put you in your place.
I could honestly argue this guy to be a 9 positive boss fight. He's crazy good. He drops debris. He's got an attack that you have to line of sight out of. There's this magma that pours in via these things over here, and it slowly encroaches to the center, and it kills you. It does gradient damage, so it's like avoidance, but gradual avoidance.
I will hang your broken bodies from the gates of this foundry.
You can see it coming in already over here. And if you see, it's slowly encroaching forward, very slowly.
I'll tear this place apart if I have to.
There's the debris stuff. He also drops bombs, of course. There's so many moving pieces.
We are
the
War Chief's weapon. Without us, he...
Yeah, there's no War Chief without you, Blackhand. We get it. Thank you all for joining me. I'm going to go pretty much immediately to the next raid. I have 2 cutscenes to show you first. Now, one of them is actually in the game. However, given how we've been doing this, I'm just gonna go ahead and show it to you on YouTube. But just trust me for a second. The first cutscene is actually in the game.
How may I aid you?
And so the game actually gets credit for it. The second cutscene is not.
What brings you here?
I'm just gonna do this. Be nice and quick about it.
Farewell.
Sorry, one moment, please. What? What? No. Wrong. Bad. This is being weird.
Show your face here, Warlock. You promised conquest, Grommash, yet brought these clans to ruin. Your men have died for nothing. My soldiers died with honor. Did they? And what about your son? My son, you have lost everything. There is only one choice. Drink and fulfill your destiny. Your poison would damn us all! Your iron will is legend. I will enjoy breaking you. Who will be the first to accept this gift? Power such as mine for any willing to serve. Kilrogg. You have seen your fate. You know what must be done. Kilrogg! Yes. I will build a new horde. I will forge you into an unstoppable weapon. You will be the scourge of 100 worlds. The might of a legion.
So, yeah, Kilrogg literally says nothing. Like, it's a good cutscene. But, honestly, most of the good there is by virtue of, you know, the animation and the voice acting. The story's starting to fray at the edges really, really badly. And you can tell because, rather than showing any of the content from that patch, I am immediately moving on to the next cutscene.
You were to be the first, Hellscream. You were destined to be my greatest champion. And instead, you chose this. You have no vision. Behold, what a true seat of power demands. A citadel of hellish fire worthy of my masters. A monument to
consume the souls of all who would dare to defy us.
They will defy you. I have seen their forces in battle. They are fearless. It does not matter what vile creatures you summon to the battle. They will persevere. Their resolve is unbreaking. They will come. They will fight. And they will wash their blades of your blood in victory.
Fight if you must, Hellscream. It is no matter. In the end, we all serve the Legion.
We have literally never interacted with Grom, by the way. Never. Not once. Like, the closest we came was we were one of those dots he was yelling at when he ordered his armies to kill us. Come on, dude. Who is that? Ah. Anyways, welcome to Tanaan Jungle, the worst endgame zone in the game. There are a couple of quests here. We're not doing them. A lot of them have been ripped out of the game by the absence of that, that loss of the legendary chain. So, yeah, there's a couple of Iron Horde left. Jungle itself is fine. Like, I've seen better jungles in this game, no less. But what really makes this work is the fact that it's one of the best spell jungles we ever see. As you can see, that little spat Gul'dan did out of petty nonsense has had a bit of an impact. We're seeing some spread of that fell. Aw, no Kazakh. Oh, by the way, this is the actual spot where they were going to have him drink from the Blood of Manoroth and all that. I think. Yeah, no, I'm right. So as you can see, we're primarily fighting demons here, because we're leading up to Legion, and oh god, which was basically the attitude in the office at the time. They're of no importance, and they're weakly time-gated, in addition to some other problems, Logue. There's also some real-life time-gating involved, other than the weekly thing. So honestly, let's just skip over that. Nothing happens. Like, here's the story. We need to invade Tanaan Jungle. Okay, let's prepare to invade Tanaan Jungle. We have invaded Tanaan Jungle. Okay, we're here. That's it. Yeah, there's no MSQ. There's no story. We're here to do random endgame boring crap. That being said, this is unique. These are fell demonic orcs. In other words, this is a very, very brief lasting organization. So short that I tend to forget it's even here. But this is the demonic Fell Horde. It's fascinating because it's just the remnants of the Fell Horde, one army or regiment. And they still have all their technology, their resources, and their firepower. But now they're demonically infused, and all that implies. Now, of course, we've knocked out most of the resources in their infrastructure, but still, what they command is not exactly an insubstantial force. And this was still their capital, so a lot of their elite troops are still here, too. So, there's our upcoming raid. Yeah, that looks legit, not gonna lie. Whole zone looks legit. There's even this, like, rotting woods area over here. I'm not even sure what this is. It's just a cursed wood. Because why not? Why not have a cursed wood down here? By the way, for anybody who cares, I'm going to point out the best item in the game. That's not a joke. It's right over here. See this? Maybe it's not this. Oh, shoot. I swear it was, like, right here. Oh my gosh, is it not here? Oh, no, we ran into this issue. Certain layers can't see this. Right. Well, anyways, I already have it. That might be part of the problem. It's this. The Brazier of Awakening. This is an out-of-combat res item. I actually have it still, right there in my inventory. It has a 30-minute cooldown, infinite uses, but it's a res. It's an ability to resurrect players on any class. It is extremely useful. I legitimately highly recommend that anybody who does not have a res, any class, like a rogue or a warrior or a demon hunter, make the trip out. I swear it's like right here. And get the Brazier of Awakening. It is invaluable. Moving on. If I'm not mistaken, I do believe there is exactly one thing I've never finished in Tanaan. What's this? I don't think I ever finished getting the fangs. The Black Fang Claws. What do I need those for? Looks like I need 6,100 to get the last few items there. Yep. And trust me, that is a very long, very boring slog. Which is why I've never done it. I've done a lot of long, boring slogs in my life. I'm trying to reduce the number of those that I do. What I find really sad is this is not a bad endgame zone in terms of everything other than gameplay and story. And I know that sounds weird, but what I mean by that is there really is no story to speak of here, other than visual, obviously. And there's no real gameplay to speak of. It really is just go grind your face on either dailies or trash mobs, like the Fang thing I just referenced. And that's it. That's the content. Go do that. For months. There's no mechanics, there's no interesting things, there's no world quests, there's no events. Go kill 10 fell orcs. Okay, come back tomorrow. It's why I spit so much venom at Tanaan. Because it comes, like so much of Warlords, it comes extremely close to being interesting and even fun. It's a large zone, too. You notice each subzone. So we got the Iron Docks over here. We've got the Fell area, which is just completely infused with Fell at this point. We've got the Fell Iron area, which I was just pointing out. We've got the Fangrilla area over there. We've got the Swamp over here. I'm not even getting started on Pathfinder. This is our first Pathfinder in the game, and it sucked. Over here, well, we've got basically just Tanaan Jungle, but this is like where the Iron Horde used to be. But wait! There's also all this stuff for the Bleeding Hollow, who are over here. Hang on, still not done. One other area, it's up here. That's right. The Arakoa are here. Which is doubly interesting. Because the Arakoa are specifically here because they've joined the Legion. Why? Don't ask questions. I actually know the answer to that, but... What's doubly funny is you're probably thinking, oh my god, after all we did for the Arakoa, they just joined the Legion? Well, one of them joined the Legion. I knew it would happen. I knew it. The other Arakoa is the Order of the Awakened, right here. Which is a joint group, come on game, of, the High and the Lowborn, unified in one group to try and, prevent horrible stuff from happening in the future. Setting aside the past, moving forward, yada, yada, yada. Yep. Cool. One moment, please. Yeah, by the way, your world's gonna melt. FYI, bye, not our problem, bye. I've been debating how exactly to review this zone for a while. Because we didn't give anything to the other zone. Timeless Isle. It's just there. Absent content is usually something we just kind of avoid giving anything for. Tanaan, however, most people, even people I know who like the Timeless Isle, agree that Tanaan is just vacuous. A little bit too vacuous. I don't think it's the best looking zone, but it is a very good looking zone. I will agree the brickwork and visuals is really good. However, the absence of content here is very noticeable. Like, I'm being a little facetious. There was one quest chain. It was to go find the Words of Devastation, or whatever they were called. It's the same damn quest chain we had back in BC. It's like the same damn thing. It's like, go do the same beats of the same quest, but here. Sure. So let's do the raid. I'm hesitant to give one quest 2 negatives for time gating. Yeah, Timeless, for me, was just boring, and I just walked away from it. Tanaan was awful. But anyways, last raid. Notice a little bit of the nether is already starting to peek through. The first boss, well, the first trash.
Stand, proud warriors! Our enemies march upon the foot of this mighty citadel. Be on guard.
So, this is kind of a funny thing. Arguably, the majority of the remaining Fell Iron Horde is being knocked out right here. This is kind of a gauntlet, because there's trash, and there's vehicles, and they spawn on a timer, and yada yada yada. And when you take out those goblins, they're the ones who actually push forward the objective. Or at least they should have.
You, check on the Citadel's defenses.
Reporting for duty.
Inspect our defenses now. Ready to go.
Yeah, ignore those skip portals. Those don't exist. Those don't exist.
Attack!
So the first boss is the gates of Hellfire Citadel. This is actually a funny little boss fight. So, you split the raid up a little bit. Some of the fight goes on over here. Some of the fight goes on over there. The goal...
To arms!
The goal is actually to defend these cannons. If the cannons die, then we lose the fight. The goal is to fight and destroy certain types of enemies which drop ammo. We drag the ammo to the cannon.
I'll be back!
And the cannon then uses that to fire in. And that's our goal, is to break the door, essentially. I love how when they come out of the Iron Stars, they're all disoriented, which makes sense, you know.
Run them down!
Attack!
Ow! Charge! They'll never see what hit them!
Okay, so here's our first bit of artillery. The artillery, of course, does tons of damage, but more importantly, it also drops the
Strike them down!
ammo. Which gives you a run buff, of course. It is pretty hot, after all.
Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole!
And we shoot an iron star at the freaking door. Boop, 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 boop. So our goal now is to keep these things full of ammo. So, come on. Keep these things full of ammo so they can keep shooting at the door. In you go.
Burn them to the ground!
We're actually making pretty good timing.
Destroy them! Run them down! If you want something done right, you have to do it yourself!
Nice. Apparently I didn't have that achievement on this character. So then she comes out with an iron... God, I can't think of it. Fell Reaver.
The might and invention of the Fell Horde! The fury of Hellfire itself! Behold!
This is a pretty rough fight. Getting out of her attacks, aiming her properly, using the trash correctly.
I warned you! Eject! Eject!
And she's dead.
The Citadel is breached! Gul'dan is within! I will establish a foothold here. Press forward!
So now we start to see more Fell Orcs further in. This is when the raid opens up. We can go several directions if we wanted to. We're gonna go the usual route, though. Knock over some of this stuff here. Don't mind me, don't mind me. Yeah, this raid... I don't even remember when they made this raid soloable. We had trouble two-manning this raid, and we had to coordinate for that. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting and inventive stuff in here, for good and for bad. Our next overall fight is against a Fell Magaron. Remember, Magarons are already elemental creatures and very high up on the tier. This is kind of cool. Destruction, Affliction, and then just straight up Fell. Yeah, by the way, this area is called the Pits of Manaroth. Each of these does a different mechanic, and the boss does a different mechanic depending on which one he's closest to. So you have a bit of control over that, but also you need to balance him going between them. The Iron Horde actually tried to enslave Grommash. Failed. Gul'dan managed it because Fell, which, as usual, is cheating. And now he's dead. Can someone type ! Guess for me really quick, please? I need to cut down the... shut off the guessing game. For the 3 people who actually are participating. Excuse me. 6 people. Look, Demon Hunters are the strongest class in lore, and that's because they're cheating. That's not even hyperbole. That is just straight up how it is. I love how there's just chunks of Fell eating up through the ground, by the way. I do love the aesthetic of this. They first built an Iron Horde fortress, and then they infused it with Fel. So that's Shadow Moon, Bleeding Eye, and Burning Blade. This is our council fight. This is a fun council fight. Stay away from the blades, stay away from the void. He hits like a truck. And yes, that's Gurtog Bloodboil from Black Temple.
Gurtog, dispatch our enemies.
Yes, Darkling, your darkness burns within me.
The sweet mercy of death.
I am, and my blade seeks vengeance.
And dead. As it should be. Up ahead we have Kilrogg, who for some reason decided to drink of the Fel Curse because, So, I'm going to give a negative to narrative for this.
You cannot stop us!
And then I stopped him. So here's the deal.
You cannot stop us!
I still can stop you. It is established over and over and over that the visions of their death that the Bleeding Eye Hollow clan have are accurate. Now, in fiction...
You cannot stop us!
In fiction, if you establish... God damn it.
Resist your own blood, Ariok. Give in to your rage. Release me from these bonds, and I will show you my rage, Kilrogg! The choice is simple, Ariok. Submit or die. Friends of yours, Ariok? No, wait. You look familiar.
When a narrative of a fiction goes out of its way to establish over and over that visions of a certain type or from a certain person are accurate, they're doing that so that when they show you something that's a vision, you know that's a vision that's actually going to come to pass. Now, they can play with that, they can mess with that, but that's the point of that. So they have emphasized over and over that the visions of the Deadeye and Kilrogg himself are accurate. He even sees his death at our hands here. So, during this fight, he shows us a vision of our death during the Legion invasion. Spoilers, that doesn't happen. It's narrative cheating. Fun fight, though. Let's save Ariok, shall we?
At last. This is the death I saw.
How you doing, buddy? You okay, Ariok?
I am in your debt, heroes. My strength is yours.
Well, I've already recruited him, obviously. If anyone wants him, he's yours. But we finally rescued Ariok from, the opening section of Warlords. It's a good thing this is a short expansion. Good lord. Can you imagine having to wait all that time? We do, in the middle of the Undercity, alongside Khadgar, Monobrand. God damn it. I was right. I was right. It is abysmally early.
It's not dinner time.
It's not dinner time?
Nope.
Then why are you here?
You heard the master! These trespassers have caused enough trouble!
I'm not sure, Russ. Keep in mind, one of the VODs was 50 minutes long. Good news, it's actually not dinner time. She came down and was asking for letters, but she couldn't remember what they were because she didn't understand what they meant. I'm like, okay. Do you remember like anything about them? She was like, no. It's like, it's okay. We'll go up and we'll see. Turns out the reason she couldn't remember is because she didn't understand what a D6 was. Her father was asking for a D6. This is the 11th VOD, Ross. That's counting 2 VODs that are only 40 minutes, though. So for all intents and purposes, this is 9 VODs in. So you remember Tanaan Jungle, right? Yeah, Kata, we always knew Kata was going to be a chonker. It's why I was so relieved to get past Kata. Well, one of the reasons. So we'll get to Gorfine in a second. We have to deal with whatever that mouth thing is. We'll deal with that in a second. Can you guys, like, go away, please?
Finally, one with the master.
That is a lot of bones. You just sitting here eating all of the souls of this entire fortress? Yeah, anyways, that's Gorfiend.
I have feasted upon 1,000 souls. Yours will be next.
I really wasn't kidding when I said that, you know, that whole soul hunger, soul addiction thing is not great. And this is what it has turned Gorfiend into. This is actually an extremely mean fight. Oh god, we had the hardest time soloing this stupid fight. And by soloing, I mean duoing.
But my power.
Alright, Khadgar.
I never believed Gul'dan would go this far. We must press on. A portal lies within these ruins that will take us further into the Citadel.
Perfect. A favorite fight in the whole game? My knee-jerk thought
is ready, champions. Steel yourselves. I know not what further atrocities Gul'dan has unleashed in this place.
My knee-jerk thought is the final fight of Legion. I'd have to think past that, though.
This entire citadel seethes with Gul'dan's corruption. A second portal is nearby. Keep his demons at bay while I break the seals and attune the portal to his location.
Alright, so first we gotta go fight this guy. That's Shadow Lord Iskar. Now, I don't blame you if that doesn't sound familiar, but he was one of our Arakoa allies during the events of Arak. It was Iskar and Rashad. This is actually something that was hinted at in Arak and really begged for a follow-through. Remember, Rashad was all about trying to find a new future, and you'll notice the Talon King was in favor of that as well. Iskar was just trying to relive the glory days and get back to the way things were, and he also wanted vengeance on all of the high Arakoa. So he decided to turn to Gul'dan, and with Fel Infusion, turned them into these.
The chef, do you think you have won? You know nothing!
And a nice touch, he's an illusionist. So most of his fight has to do with illusions. The moment you kill him, the sky darkens, all of the void energy ones goes away, all the accoutrements go away. So it's down to just him, because it was always an illusion, which is appropriate for someone who is delusional. Hello, Paladin MJ. And yeah, that is for all intents and purposes the end of the High Arakoa. So that's a negative to story for not following through on that. Quite literally, Yura, yes. So let's do the Legion wing over here. Call it that. I've actually described this before, but the upcoming boss fight is something you shouldn't do. Void and Fel don't actually mix directly. In fact, they're very volatile against each other. This is one of the most obvious examples of that. That is an abomination. And remember, in Warcraft, when you say abomination, what you mean is a chimera. That is a chimera of Void and Fel. And That is exactly as terrifying as that should be. Point in fact, he's being summoned and constructed for only one reason, and that's to just be a frickin' bomb. Because that's what's going to happen once he's destabilized. You notice there is a demon and a void creature both enslaved here just to force him into stability. I mean, at this point, you could be a light-forged warlock. I don't think void elf warlocks are particularly eyebrow-raising. Yes and no, Evo. It kind of depends. For example, if I never find out the great story of Nomi and his desire to become a better cook, I don't really care. But if there's a major character plot arc that goes across an entire zone that never is followed through on, yeah, I'd say that probably should be followed through on.
Yes! Yes, I see it! I can see the end!
And he's dead.
Another seal is open. Oh, I am good.
Thank you, Paladin MJ, for the sub. As always, if you want to, you can put that towards up to 3 upcoming streams to increase interest and priority in them. So, we're approaching what I legitimately think is one of the worst cutscenes in the entire game. We're getting there. Aw, well, thank you, Centaur, very much for the kind thoughts and for the donation. And I'm glad that I was able to help you enjoy FF6 even more. It's a great game. There's a lot of nuance. Every now and again, I still discover something new about it. As I just mentioned, you could put that donation towards increasing any future streams that you want to. If you want to. Listen, if there's anything unexplained to the game, guaranteed negative to story. Yeah, I would say worse than the Sylvanas one. Legitimately.
Still holding out hope, Hellscream. Your precious horde will serve the Legion. We will never be slaves.
So, so that, first of all, that's our first look at a new. There's a lot of new first looks at a new Legion model in this raid, by the way. Shows you a lot of how far they were into Legion development at this point. But anyways, that's Grom up there, hanging from a fell like crucifix thing, and that's a Fell Lord defending him.
We will reap your souls. The hope we are best.
The portal is nearly complete. The next seal has...
My thanks to you. Now, leave me. I have a trophy to carve.
So, remember, this is our first time actually meeting Grom. But second, and much more importantly, Grom is a goddamned monster. He is one of the most evil individuals in the entire setting. There's nothing redeeming about him. There's nothing positive about him. But we act like he's our old buddy, our old war buddy. Which is insanity on several levels. It's crazy, actually. We literally should kill him right now. Like, I'm a little bit shocked he's not the boss fight for this. Moving on. Yeah, oh, he was misled by who? Gul'dan? The guy he rejected continuously and persistently? Garrosh? His own son? From another dimension and timeline? Yeah, they act... This is the Ner'zhul problem all over again. They treat him like he's our Grom. And I will give our Grom credit. Our Grom worked for that. He put time and work and effort into being a better person. Arguably never succeeded, because he never really got a chance to try. But he did put the effort in. Over years, it's worth noting. We only saw a little bit of that on camera. But no. This guy just is like, hey, what's up, my old honored friend?
They come for just a bit longer, and the binding will be complete.
This is actually an extremely cool fight. That is Socrathar. Remember him? From BC and from Shadowmoon? So, yeah, Socrathar fights us in the mech. But the thing is, we beat him out of the mech, and then we take control of the mech. And then we have to do stuff in the mech in order to, like, deal with the fight. It's extremely cool and fun and interesting.
Fight, you fools! Stop them!
As usual, this fight is much more interesting on a gameplay axis. So, you know, yay.
I should have expected as much. No matter. The construct is fully powered. The final binding will have to wait. For now, I believe we have a score to settle. Fleas!
Okay.
You killed me once, mortals. It will not happen again. No, never. It consumes me.
Yep.
My soul itself shall strike you down.
The final seal.
Sargere, to me.
Socrathar, you're dead. You're dead, buddy. Admit it. Accept it. Whoop, whoop. Yes, that is Darren DePaul. Whoever asked that. Retro Justice. Yeah, sorry. As I mentioned before, thanks to some shenanigans and time stuff, I didn't do any of the campaign quests on camera. So, one of them involves going and defeating Socrathar. That's it. I just summarized the entire campaign for you. We go and defeat Socrathar. They're really underwhelming. Which brings me to Ross's question. Was I more positive or negative on this expansion as a whole walking in? I never exactly expected Warlords to score particularly well. It is a problematic expansion for a reason. However... well, I wasn't expecting as bad as it's been, let's put it that way. Again, I don't really have any predictions going forwards at this point. I have no idea how any expansion will score, with the possible exception of War Within. The loss of the Legendary Ring was insane. It was already bad. I had no idea how many long-reaching effects that would have on the score. That's crazy. So this is the Tyrant Velhari. She's a paladin. This is what you get when you get a Fel paladin, and she really does have paladin abilities. It's very cool.
Are no strangers to war. Are you so eager to meet your end?
I see she still has the audio bug.
What a tragedy!
And you go.
The portal is unlocked. It will take us directly to Gul'dan. Now he will pay for his crimes.
Right. Yep. Gul'dan's definitely gonna pay. That's what's about to happen. Yeah, I kind of wish we could see more of this, but whatever. Where's the... there it is. I'm apparently completely blind. As is my wont. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The idea of a evil paladin is actually kind of interesting to me. And yeah, obviously we've had the Scarlet Crusade since vanilla. In fact, in lore, we've had the concept of an evil paladin since before Warcraft 3. Remember, a lot of the people who were in charge at Durnhold were paladins. Yeah, the Sargerai they don't really do much with. I'm confused why it's offering me the skip. I have the skip.
Defend Azeroth together.
Whatever.
Be mindful of your duty.
So, that is Manaroth. And, where is he? And somewhere around here is Gul'dan.
The final hour is at hand. The Master comes. This is your purpose, summoners. Manaroth will be whole again. What is this? Gul'dan, what have you done? I am so weak.
And as the fight progresses, as Papanix is getting ahead of me on here, he slowly regains more and more of his flesh, until at the end he has fully fell infused flesh right at the end. Oh wow, that actually killed. I'm a little shocked. Makes sense though.
The Legion will find you, no matter where you flee.
And that was just for you, Yura. And Luneru.
Gul'dan has fled to the Dark Portal. Quickly, champions. He has no place left to run. We will finish this. And save me his skull. For reasons.
Right. That is Archimonde.
You have foolishly rushed to your end. The Black Gate is whole. Behold the might of the Legion!
Tremble, mortals, and despair! Doom has come to this world.
The exact quote he said in Warcraft 3.
Gul'dan, ready the Black Gate for my invasion. These vermin will not delay me. The last light will fall by my hand.
Yes, Master.
My coming heralds the end of your pathetic world, insects. Your meager forces shall be the first of many to be consumed by the burning Legion.
Yeah, so this is our Archimonde. Let me jump in here really quick. First of all, this is very Nazgrim. That's the voice, I forget his name, it's the voice actor who does a lot of this stuff. You hear him all over the place, but he's very clearly just doing his Nazgrim voice. Before, I forget to mention it because several people have already mentioned it in chat. Yes, that's Asgalor, that's Anetheron, and that's Khazragal from the Battle at Mount Hyjal, alongside Archimonde. Nice touch. Cool. So, I was pissed at this when this happened, because this was such a retcon. Now, It's been consistent since then, so it doesn't bother me as much anymore. But this was just such an out of nowhere, hey, Archimonde! What? Let me explain. The rule about elementals being permanently destroyed in their plane if you kill them there has obviously been around for a while. I forget how long, but I'm pretty sure they even mentioned that in vanilla. And that definitely shows up several times in Kata, so that's been around for a minute. But there was no such thing for demons. Because the idea was that demons, if they had been killed sufficient, like if enough power, energy, or resources, whatever, killed a demon, then it would permanently kill the demon. And detonating the world tree with a few thousand wisps qualified. So by all accounts, Archimonde was frickety dead. And everything indicated that Archimonde was dead, and Kil'jaeden was in charge of the Legion in his absence. And then Archimonde's here. Well, wait! It's not alternate Archimonde, which would have made a mild degree of sense. It's our Archimonde, because apparently the Legion is cross-dimensional, which actually makes no sense on any level, but let's completely ignore that. Oh, also, that's never mentioned again. So, this is the Archimonde. Our Archimonde. Huh? Now, hang on, it's even weirder. I'm going to spoil something for you. During this fight, I don't know if it's going to show it off, but during this fight, he ends up dragging us into the Nether so he can be more empowered to kill us. We then kill him there, in the Nether. So he is permanently gone. Erased. So... What? You literally pulled this random plot twist to make Archimonde the last boss of Warlords, so we could quite literally immediately kill him. What? This is a retcon, and it's weird. Yeah, there's no logic here. This is just thrown in here. This is just, Now, this is a good fight. Can't give it any positives for it, but it is a good fight. Each of that trash up there is basically the same raid bosses as back in BC. I like the idea of what they're conveying here. I do. The idea is that what used to be an entire raid boss is now raid trash to us. It's a way to, in lore, acknowledge how much stronger we've gotten. And as I've pointed out before, the closest thing we have to a coherent plot thread, a coherent thematic core of Warlords, is showing how far we've come. We have smashed through Warlords. I don't just mean during this playthrough, I mean in lore. We were ready for them. By all accounts, this attack by this force should have absolutely decimated us, and instead, it was barely a bump in the road for us. We effectively beat the Iron Horde the moment we cracked the Dark Portal all the way at the beginning, and everything else has just been us cleaning up, to be frank. And that's the point. This is showing how much stronger we have become over the course of the years since BC. We're not just a bunch of random adventurers with a bunch of random polities that have no idea what we've been doing. Yeah, no, Hellfire is literally the first bump in the road this entire expansion, and I do like that. I like that narrative point. This is build-up, or at least it should be, build-up for Legion. This is showing why we have the capacity to be able to stand against the Legion at all. Because, and I'm going to be blunt about this, if the third invasion happened back during BC, we would be crushed. We had nothing in place to deal with that. We didn't have connections, we didn't have heroes, we didn't have artifacts, we didn't have levels in lore. You know, we had nothing. That would have been game. This is actually a major point in Pandaria as well, like it or not. Yeah, remember, we lost to the Lich King. A lot of people tend to forget that little tidbit. But at this point, we have actually defeated the Shah, and we have defeated the Deathwing. Quite frankly, we defeated Lei Shen. I know not a lot of people take that as significant as it is, but it's still worth noting. So let's see if we can provoke last phase here, shall we?
Let the echoes. I am the Defiler.
That's fine.
Gul'dan!
Already a negative to story. Remember, he's in the Nether right now, so he shouldn't be here. He's dead.
made a pact.
And his final act is to throw Gul'dan through the portal he was already opening. So this is already a negative for nonsense. But then...
It's done. Gul'dan failed. Draenor is free!
You don't think it's over?
Gul'dan and the devils that command him are not so easily banished. I fear this is only beginning.
If you ever need us, we will be here.
Slowly dissolving into the timeways.
A great man once told me, in the light, we are one.
Oh god, that line!
And we will see Draenor rebuilt. Together.
I'm sorry, that line hits a little bit differently now, doesn't it? In the light, we are one. Oh my god. Wow. Okay, I'm not going to hold future stuff against it. That's not how that policy works. But for real. God, that ending sucked. God, that ending sucked. Like, okay, Archimonde out of nowhere, huh? Gul'dan summoning Archimonde with no effort or prep time, huh? But then the ending hits. And let's really dissect that a little bit for a second, shall we? So, first, and this is very important. Hang on, Blade Ball. You have to understand, and I'm sorry, this is a huge plot point. This is significant, okay? Archimonde dies in the Nether. In canon. This isn't headcanon. This isn't presumption. This isn't trying to fix the story. He dies in the Nether. That's important because it means Archimonde is permanently dead. And he stays dead. So, why is he here? Just out in the area. And he's even here in the cutscene where he's like, you made a pact. And then he sends Gul'dan through, which isn't necessary on any level. Oh, grats, Sylar. I don't think I have that one yet. So, before we even get to this stupid thing with Grom, it's already a bad cutscene. Then, they're like, we did it. We have defeated the villain. And freaking Hitler is the one who says, Germany is free! Jesus Christ. I've been pointing out this entire expansion how much of a goddamned monster that Grom has been. He has been torturing and abusing and enslaving and manipulating and mass murdering people. One of the first things we find out that Grom has been doing is he has been shoving innocent civilians that he has captured of both Orc and Draenei into a fell furnace to power a portal so he can go conquer another world. He is not a good person. We have seen what he did to the Shadow Moon. We have seen what he did to the Frostwolf. We saw what he did to the Draenei. This man is evil. He is horrific. He is literally worse than our Grom. And yeah, no excuse, no fell empowerment, no demonic corruption, no void tendrils, no whispers from the dark. He's just a monster. And he's the one who gets the line, Draenor is free, and the big triumphant music plays. Yeah, big fist bump moment for this asshole. Forgive me for really hammering this point in, but you understand, right? Like, just picture whatever fiction you like and imagine the horrific... Like, imagine if at the end of FF7, Hojo shows up and is like, and now the world is free! Yeah! Woo! And rather than calling him on that, everyone's like, yes, you're right, Hojo! Yeah! Clap on the back. And it's like, what? Duratan's right there! Yeah, Palpatine shows up after the Battle of Endor and says, and now, at long last, the Galactic Empire has been defeated. What? I'm sorry to keep hammering this point in. I apologize. I'll let it go. Wow. I promised you an answer, Blade Taval. So, let me spoil something for you, okay? Several years from now, we will decide to reach out to the Mag'har and try and recruit them to our cause, essentially evacuating them from this timeline. Now, remember, timelines slowly disintegrate the longer they're disconnected from the Prime timeline. And pretty much like minutes after this, it's 30 years, well, minutes after this, we go back through our portals, and we go back to the Kirin Tor portals, we go back to Azeroth, and we leave. So that's 30 years of the timeline slowly disintegrating in the background. The world's on the verge of destruction. Like, food doesn't work right, plants don't work right, animals don't work right. Everything's falling apart. And Yrel here has become a strong advocate of the light. She calls herself the leader of an organization known as the Lightbound. And the Lightbound have been going around forcibly converting everyone to the light. And I do mean forcibly. In the light, we are one. During that quest, we fight against Yrel in order to prevent her from claiming one of the last pockets of orcs, Mag'har. Yeah, everyone knows by that point that they're all dead. They might not understand why, but they do know it. So Grom here, great hero that he is, holds the line against the evil Yrel, so we can evacuate the Mag'har and get them the hell out of Dodge. Okay, I'm okay. Alright. Why just the Mag'har? Because they're the allied race, Luke. Duh! I don't know, dude. You are asking the wrong person there. Let me double check something really quick here. Okay. Oh, geez, Kira White Noise. Oh, man. Whoops. I was gonna say, why not just make the Mag'har an Outland, who we are already allied with and already have connections and ties to? Now, granted, a lot of them followed Garrosh, so maybe they're all dead. I don't know. As expected, shortest expansion by quite a margin. Literally less than half the length of Wrath. No shock there. I agree with you, but we'll come back to that when that quest is relevant, which I actually have notes on. That'll be during BFA, when we'll come back to that. Yeah, for the longest time, a lot of us sort of assumed Outland was doomed as well. For the same basic reason, like it slowly disintegrated on off-camera, so I guess that's the end of Outland. Yeah, and then Safe Haven shows up, and it's like, oh! I guess the Cenarian Circle did it. Cool. Vanilla is not as big as Kata, but Vanilla would take much, much longer than Kata. Possibly by a factor of double. Yeah, I remember I think it's Varrock says that.
Deals for a friend of the Grummels.
I don't know if I fully buy that. Problem is, they've never touched on it, and at this point, I'm not sure they ever will. They've just been content to let Outland sit there and ignore it. Which, whatever. I mean, ARR wasn't even as long as Endwalker, but yeah, same vibe. Oh my god, I hate this. This will no longer be tradable. This will no longer be tradable. This will no longer be tradable. Did you know that this will no longer be tradable? I mean, sure, Yura. We'll go with that. If I was to cover all of Classic... Oh, I said Kata.
Good fortune to our friends.
Alright. Someone pick a song in WoW. Preferably in, like, a town. Like Stormwind, for example. I mean, that's... Back when I did the lore run, several... I will kill you, I swear to God, literally. Where's Merildar? What's Meril? I don't recognize that name. Let's skip that. We'll do Veldraken though. But back when I did the lore run, every source I could find indicated the same, that Cataclysm was such a huge ugh for the company. They lost so many players during it, and there was so much vocal feedback, negative feedback about Kata, that they backed away from doing the idea forever. In other words, the only time at which they would probably ever consider actually going back and revamping Outland is now that they've thrown out the old playbook. Yeah, you see why I phrase that so, Uthor. We shall see. We're apparently getting a revamp. I know we're getting a revamp of Quel'Thalas. I don't know how much else of the Elven lands we're getting a revamp of. And, yeah, we're getting a revamp of Northrend as well, so we'll see. Honestly, that's a good spot right there. I'll just stay like that. Alright, let me do some paperwork really quick, shall we? Let's wrap this sucker up. I am quite looking forward to it, Gizlik, and I appreciate you not spoiling. That is what my own sources tell me. Told me. I should use past tense, Magister. No, the Dark's gonna be just sitting there tabulating LGA stuff. There's no break there. Interesting. swore I gave a positive to Tanaan. Did I not? Oh, there it is. I'm blind, apparently. No. The LJ is happening at... Hit next really quick, Hero. Yeah. The LJs will happen after Legion. Wanted to check myself on that. Alright. Yes, Magister. If it was Gnomish, it would fail 10% of the time. If it's Goblin, it'll explode 100% of the time. Shadowlands score as well. I really am. I rather doubt it. But you never know. Hey, somebody type Khadgar in chat really quick, please. No, we're in Valdrakken because we decided to skip ahead, Evo. Sorry, I'm doing that sarcasm thing again. I apologize. Oh, it's so hard not to do that. I have this thing. I've been trying to get out of it. My niece actually asked me to stop doing it. I gave 6 negatives to the outro. When someone asks me something that I think is a really, really obvious question, and I feel stupid for answering it. So what I do is I don't answer it. And instead, I say sarcastically the opposite, right? Because it feels really off to just answer straight. You know, yes, water is wet, is how that feels to me. But, yes, we are standing in Valdrakken doing the audit right now. I swear to God, Evo. I swear to God. Alright, let's do the actual audit now. Okay, brain engage. What do we got? What do we got? Sorry, some of these are just really funny to compare directly. Warlords did get more visual positives than Pandaria. Barely. Oh, Khadgar. I asked you to remind me about it. It does make sense. Warlords is pretty solid looking. Yeah, the visuals will only continue to escalate pretty much every expansion. The only weird change there is Cataclysm, and Cataclysm only managed more positives by sheer volume. In fact, it's worth noting that Warlords has almost surpassed Cata already. And I wouldn't be surprised if Legion manages it. If Legion doesn't, BFA almost assuredly will. Do you have to do that right there? Oh, Valdragon, excuse me. Dragonflight is going to absolutely destroy the visual positives. Dragonflight was when they added that brand new tech. You can't actually see it at this height, forgive me. Let me get a little lower. There it is. So back in the day, distant areas would just be shadowy, you know, figures, shadowy outlines, and that's essentially it, right? That's all you'd see. But in Dragonflight, they added this new tech where they would add this foggy thing. I'm still going up, so forgive me. There we go. There you go. See it? Do you see it? This fog to kind of help filter it. It actually makes it look more distant, and unlike your typical fog, there's actual design and complexity to it. It's not standard fog like you'd see in Morrowind. There's actually a lot of design behind it. The most distant islands, like the Forbidden Reach out there, are barely visible. But as you get closer, you can see more and more details of what you're looking at, and the fog gets less and less dense. It changes colors, too, as it gets further away and then closer to you. And yeah, you've seen this the whole game. They've added this to the entire game. It's an engine overhaul. But this is the expansion that... But this is the expansion that actually added that. And yeah, it makes it so that in several cases, like that, the distance actually blends into the skybox. It really makes the game look a lot better. Because one of the biggest problems the game has always had is the distance. It used to have old-fashioned fog, which frankly looks terrible. Like, it looks like it's just, the world just ends a few hundred feet in front of you. Like, all the way back in launch vanilla. Compare that with this. Very impressive. Anyways, sorry. Back to the audit. Where was I? Characters, right? Agreed, Hero. Although, I will admit, I actually prefer infinite draw distance, but this is still a good decision, and it is good design. For the sake of comparison... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 pluses to the intro just on the story axis by itself. Just the story axis. I'll get to gameplay in a minute. Yeah, they added more cloud tech. Like, you could, if you've been paying attention, there's a cloud actually moving through the area here. There's one over there. There's a bunch of them, actually, all over the place. There's this weird tree in the distance. I wouldn't worry about that. I wonder if the tree will be there when we go through Dragonflight. We'll be doing it on a brand new character, an Evoker. So I don't know. One, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You dare to steal from my crucibles? I am coming for you, little worms. You will pay! Perish in flames!
Hello, Fyrak. Yeah, you don't exist yet, dude. Go away. Go away. Alright, gameplay. Look, I like Matt Mercer as much as the next guy. Really. Yeah, you can literally see Fyrak from here. He's right there. It's another bit of tech they added, although they added that up before Dragonflight. The distance targeting. Certain things can be targeted and interacted with at a much higher distance than others, including party members. Party members have, near as I can tell, almost infinite render radius. But only if they're in the party. It was 5 pluses overall to the intro on the gameplay side. That's 14 total pluses to the intro. That's pretty impressive. It is definitely the best intro we've had so far. By quite a margin, actually. I'm not sure anything's going to beat that. Like, we're going to have the Broken Shore in Legion. The Maw in the Battle for Lordaeron in BFA, then the Maw in Shadowlands. I don't remember there being an intro to Dragonflight and the attack during War Within. I don't know. The problem is War Within doesn't have a defined intro. It just kind of happens and then keeps happening and then keeps happening and then keeps happening. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, we're done with the expansion. Oh, that might be why I've never seen it. Carol White Noise. So I guess we will see that when we get there. I'll tell you this, the Demon Hunter intro. Ho ho! Guess what we're doing first tomorrow, by the way, after we watch the cinematic. Yes, I'm looking forward to that. Thank you for asking. Yeah, if anything's going to beat the Pandaren starter zone, it's going to be the Demon Hunter starter zone. Some people think Evoker will. We'll see. I have no idea. Yeah, we'll finally see the 3 Drakthir vids, which I also haven't... I've apparently missed a lot not playing a Drakthir. Yeah, by this point I was firmly doing my Demon Hunter. I mean, I stand by what I said. I think Ameridrisville is our best endgame zone, with the possible exception of a zone I haven't even done. Sorry, I'm being thorough. I don't want to miss anything, because I'm really curious. I mean, I'm always thorough, but I'm really curious how this is going to line up. Any guesses? Any predictions? What else came out in 2014? Assassin's Creed Unity. Screw that game. No contest. No offense to anybody who likes it. Wolfenstein New Order. Unity is the best Assassin's Creed game I've ever played. I fell in love with it. I cried. I wept. I gave it a net 0 in the golden number. Actually, I think that's changed since then. Let me double check here. I got it right here. Yep, nope. It's actually changed. It's no longer net 0. Now, it's negative 8.97. Alright, let's see here. Oh, Five Nights at Freddy's. We all know that's the best game for any streamer ever made. Wait, FAF 2 also came out the same year? Jesus Christ. Oh, there you go. Goat Simulator. Oh, wow. Okay. It's not the worst scoring expansion we've had. Scored better than Wrath, though. I'm gonna get some flack for that. Not that I care. Warlords is better than Wrath. Alright, so. Sorry, what? I couldn't hear you over the sound of 1,000 people trying to kill me. It's okay, they couldn't actually hit me because they haven't raised their unarmed skill yet. I mean, I do stand by that. Warlords is better than Wrath. I 100% stand by that. I will repeat it as much as I need to. God. Sorry, not... Sorry. I'll explain what I'm freaking out about in just a second here. Not now. Damn it. Okay. Net plus 60 to story for Warlords. That's actually pretty impressive given how many issues they had. That's 1.8 pluses per hour. That's pretty good. That's a 64.15% ratio. That is the second worst story ratio we've ever had for an MMO or an MMO expansion. That's bad. To put that bluntly. The only MMO expansion that has ever gotten a worse ratio than that on story is ARR. Gameplay. Plus 24. That's passable. Yeah, it's net positive. That's 0.75 an hour, and that's a ratio of 62%. Now, the overwhelming majority of those negatives are abandonment negatives, but that is how that works, giving us our final bronze number. Can I get a drum roll, please? So at the top right now is Pandaria at 634. Below that is Cataclysm at 479. And below that is Warlords at 189. Huge drop down. But that still puts it above Wrath, and that still puts it above BC. That sounds about right, if I'm being completely honest with you. I'm not sure if I disagree with that. So at 189, looks like that's going towards Triexia again. That's funny. Alundra, Guild Wars 1, Killzone. Yeah, Pompanix was right behind him. In fact, hang on. I should probably do my due diligence on that. So that's 14 versus 11. Nope, it is still Trihexia. Tomorrow we start Legion. Yo. Okay, I'll be up in a minute. So Legion. Legion is Legion. I am very curious how Legion's going to line up. I've got a bunch of paperwork to do, everything set up, but tomorrow we will watch the opening cinematic. We'll do the Demon Hunter starting experience, and we're going to be doing a lot of stuff. I'll see you guys.